Hi guys, welcome. Dan here from the Magic Junk Drawer. Let me just get this here set up so it doesn't tip over. Okay. Avery is in her crib behind us. I think she's still sleeping. Yeah, she is. Okay. So I wanted to read the email that I got from my friend. So the names have been changed to protect everybody that's involved. We don't want to really get the news out before it's time. So I'm going to change my friend's name. My friend's name for this purpose, or her name, we're going to call her Elizabeth. And this is the email that she sent. This is what's going on. And basically, it's a custody issue of a young child who's only a couple of years old. And like, it's not that much money that is needed to get the ball rolling. So it would be like criminal not to try to do a fundraiser and raise it and get this kid back home where he belongs. I got to keep drinking because my voice is still a little. Okay, so here's the email. And all the names have been changed. This way. April of 2018, my grandson was born. I'll call him Dylan. My son, I'll call him Josh, was incarcerated. When I discovered that he was soon to be a father, he was 19. He and the baby's mother, I'll call Tiffany, were together briefly before his arrest. Tiffany was 28 years old and had an older son, Mark, who was 2 at the time. Tiffany used heroin and crystal methamphetamine throughout her pregnancy. According to her, she stopped using heroin on a regular basis in the 3rd trimester. She also failed to receive regular care, only visiting the OBGYN once throughout the entire pregnancy. Although the relationship between Tiffany and I was rocky, to say the least, I promised to help in any way possible, as the child she carried was my grandbaby. I was present at Dylan's birth, and he remained in the NICU for some time due to her drug use, but he was released to her. She and I worked out a regular schedule for visits, and she lived with her friend, and I helped financially in maintaining these visits. In a very short time, the visits were extended, and she took him less and less, and that was fine with me because I loved having him. My son was released and moved in with his dad, and he was doing quite well and taking care of himself. His son and Tiffany's older son, Mark. Within 3 weeks to a month, Tiffany had moved into Josh's dad's house with both boys just after Christmas of 2018. Josh discovered drugs and paraphernalia in the diaper bag, and they broke up. After many tears, he took her back. Throughout this time, I had Dylan full-time. Eventually, Josh's dad found drugs hidden in the house and kicked Tiffany out. Josh kept sneaking her in, and one day he told them both they had to go. The downward spiral began. I guess Josh was too weak, and soon they both had spun downward together. They stayed with me for a short while, but eventually I told them that I couldn't do it. Dylan lived with me anyway, so we made an agreement that Dylan would stay. My home was the only home he knew. Josh signed himself into a rehabilitation center, and she claimed that she did too, setting her older son up with a friend. I suggested that the older boy stay with her mother, but was quickly shut down. I was then told how abusive she was by her children and their father. This was later verified by Tiffany's siblings and the woman's actions towards me and my son. Dylan was happy in my home, and he was well cared for and was able to have the opportunity to build healthy relationships with both sides of his family. In May of 2019, I got a call from Tiffany. Her and her family had contacted Child Services. Dylan, it's just me blowing my nose. Pardon me here. And she contacted Child Services, and the social worker wanted to meet up with her. She asked if she could take Dylan to the appointment, and of course she could. I got him ready and spoke with the social worker, and Tiffany didn't show up. Child Services made the visit to my home with myself and Dylan. After the visit, Child Services deemed the best place for Dylan was with me. I had a big job out of state the following weekend, and Tiffany was taking Dylan while I worked. I will never forget the look the way he looked at me as she strapped him into the car seat. Something inside him knew, as I did, that something was wrong. Upon my return from Connecticut, I stopped to the rehab facility to visit my son. Tiffany was there as well. She informed me, a very matter of fact, my mother has guardianship of my boys now. Myself and my son were devastated. We went back to court. Child Services spoke up for me in court, yet Tiffany showed up high, and her mother spouted lie after lie about me in court. The judge ordered me to supervise my son's visits every other weekend and cautioned Wanda, his maternal grandmother, about the child alienation from parent or grandparent and how detrimental it is. She got an attitude with the judge and started rambling reasons why he shouldn't see me. Everything from distance to he loved me more to no availability. That lasted for about 2 months before both parents messed up again, getting arrested and going to jail. Wanda did not allow me any form of communication at this time. My son is currently living on his own, getting back on his feet, and Tiffany is currently living in another state and using. It is the plan of Tiffany and Wanda to send the children to that state in a couple of months against the court order. Wanda suffers from narcissistic personality disorder and was emotionally and physically abusive to her own children. She admits that she knew of Tiffany's drug use and erratic behaviors for years prior to Dylan's birth. Yet she never intervened, and that she only intervened due to some sort of demented desire to hurt me. Since the last court hearing, she has informed the court that I have drove under the influence with Dylan and that I am Tiffany's drug dealer. I do not now, nor have I ever enjoyed the taste of alcohol, and I do not use drugs. I am not now, nor have I ever sold drugs to anyone. I am simply loved and cared for my grandson. Most importantly, Dylan has suffered. He has clothes and food, but he has lost the light in his eyes. Wanda loves the older boy to the best of her ability, but holds a grudge against Dylan. I know that sounds ridiculous, but everyone has shared this with me. Due to her accusations and behaviors of both parents, I do not stand a chance in the courtroom without good legal counsel. Please help bring Dylan home until his dad, and hopefully one day his mom, gets on his feet and can provide the life he deserves. Thank you. So, like I was saying, the amount of money to get started is not that much. So I'm going to do some fundraisers. I'm going to do some live streams where the minimum is a $5 super chat to get your question answered. 50% of whatever I make will go to this this cause. So that's not including the YouTube fee. So let's just say, for example, I make 100. I'll just donate $50, and then the YouTube fee can come out of my part, which is fine. But I want you guys to know where the money is going, and I want you to know exactly why it's going there, how much it's going there, and when I make donations, I'll post it on the community page, because I want everyone to know that this is legit and it's for a real reason, and that it's important. You know, like, to me, I'm a child of a divorced home, and I think that it sucks to pit one kid against another family member and back and forth and back and forth. It's not an easy life for a child, and I feel like this kid, you know, we've got to do the right thing by him. So anyhow, if you're interested in a reading, right now I'm doing 3 questions for $20. 50% goes to the donation. I already made one today. I sold one package already today. I already donated the $10. And then we'll do the super chat ones in case you want to do it that way. And I'm thinking about setting up a GoFundMe page. So if you don't want a reading, you just want to make a donation, you can either do it through the GoFundMe if I can get it up and running. Otherwise, you can just send me the PayPal donation and I'll forward it. Just put Dylan Fund in the PayPal thing so that I know that's what it's for, and I'll send it. And that's about it. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and please share this video with anyone that you think may be interested or anyone that you think could help. That's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.